Hey everyone, this is Tony, Dungeon Master for D&D Raw, and before we begin today's episode, we first wanted to thank you for all the support you've shown us. All of our listeners in the D&D community have been very inclusive, and we really appreciate all the help that we've been given. And we also want to help out our other D&D podcast friends out there, and to do that, we're going to be posting this promo before our episode begins. So here's a short clip of the Merely Roleplayers podcast.
I believe that role-playing games are art. Specifically, role-playing games are theatre, which means theatre artists are natural role-players.
What sort of hat am I wearing?
That's the important details.
Is it like a tricorn hat? Yeah,
He has
sure.
got into full theatre mode now.
Right,
This is amazing.
So they want to be entertained. I'm going to give them a shot with my iron and my tricorn hat.
Life's a game. The world's our stage. And we're merely role-players. Merely Role-Players, a podcast where dramatic people play role-playing games. Hosted by me, M.J. Starling, in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Find us at merelyroleplayers.podbean.com or search your usual podcast app for Merely Role-Players.
And now on to the rest of the show. As always, with me are the following players.
Hi, I'm Adam. I'm going to be playing Syldan. He is a wood elf, Way of the Kensei monk.
Hi, this is Bethany. I'm playing Sarya, an Asamar Order of the Immortal Mystic.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm going to be playing Darryl, a human evocation wizard.
Hello, I'm Nick. I'm going to be playing Torr, a dwarven inquisitive rogue.
I'm Rachel, and I'm playing Kalima, the half-elf domain of the grave cleric.
And we would all like to welcome you to Orinthal. Last time, the party went to Lash the Lone Shark's shop in order to meet, quietly, with Thovin Arborshade. Once there, the famous wizard told the party about his own encounters with the Whispered Ones, and what he learned of the intellect devourers that they came across. Thovin explained that he learned the intellect devourers seemed to be able to detect them no matter how quiet they were being, and that the only thing that they were able to use in order to sneak up on such creatures was the Mind Blank spell. He had one scroll of this in his possession, as it is a very powerful spell, and offered it to one member of the party, as he knew they were going up against these creatures, and wanted to give them whatever aid he could as he went to conduct his own investigations elsewhere. Meanwhile, Thovin also was able to give his own expertise on the magics of the Feywild, as well as the strange plane known as the Far Realm, first telling Torr that the deal he made with Biogosto would result in either its completion or his death. It concerned Thovin greatly that there was an entity out there that had actually been able to break a deal with Bai without dying as a result. Meanwhile, the magnifying glass that Torr possessed was a point of contention as Syldan went to wrestle it from his grasp only to be punched in the face by Torr a moment later. Thovin temporarily banished the magics manipulating Torr, and explained it must be a sympathy spell on the magnifying glass manipulated through Feywild magic in order to keep control over Torr. The party then continued the discussion of what it was the Whispered Ones were trying to achieve, whether it be an assassination attempt on one of the delegation members or simply chaos or control. They could not conclude anything at this point, though there was a concern that Thovin himself may be targeted. Thovin mentioned that he would have plans in place after inspecting the other ambassadors to determine whether or not they were still who they claimed to be. And he left the party with a sending scroll so that they could contact him should anything particularly important arise. In addition, Thovin mentioned to Darryl that he should try and get in contact with Noah whenever possible, as it was odd that the Evocation Master had not been in contact with the Academy since the previous day. With the meeting concluded, the party mentioned that they would be heading over to the Gold Petal Gardens district, to the Temple of Lathander, which was situated right above the marking they found on one of the maps. Meanwhile, Thovin would head off to the dinner with the rest of the ambassadors and the royal council and do what he can to find out who was involved in this scheme. And we find the party in Lash's shop just after Thovin has left. So, Thovin has left the room. Lash has kind of peeked her head in and says, "Do you still need some time, or can I get back to my shop?"
Just a couple minutes, just a couple short minutes, and we'll be out of here.
Very
Out of
well.
your hair? Question to the DM.
Doesn't even, let you finish as it closes the door.
Does
What?
Lash have hair?
Yep.
Okay. Out of her hair.
Small amount braided tight back.
Cool. Gotcha. So, what do we still want to go check out the temple and see if we can figure out why that was marked?
I think that's probably our best lead at this point.
I agree with this.
Because otherwise our only other lead is to go to the Wizard's Tower, and we really have no entrance there and no idea what to do.
And no excuse as to how to get in.
That's true, too.
Mhm.
Okay. I guess lead the way, Kalima?
Well, do we really want to go in through above, or do we want to go from below? Because we already are fairly confident that they're traveling through the sewers below.
But the mark didn't indicate that there was an entrance from the sewers, right?
Yeah. That mark could either correspond to something below, most likely, or it could correspond to something on the surface that is somehow connected to what's below.
That's true. So you think we should go from below just to limit?
I think we should
Yeah.
go check out above first,
Uh-huh.
and then go to one of the nearby entrances.
If we're gonna be above, maybe stealth would be in order, just in case.
Well, we don't want to stealth because it's just a public temple. We could just walk in.
Yeah, we can just walk in. It's a temple to Lathander.
Yeah, so Kalima could just, show the way. Maybe we're, possible, converts or something?
So my other concern is if we do try and go above and they know who we are, they may be able to signal to down below, and then we would miss them.
And if we go from below, then we could get ambushed in a place we don't know.
That's true, too. Okay, do we need to take a vote? Because it seems like we might have a split.
I'm fine with taking a vote.
So I'll just ask one at a time. Yes for above, no for below. Sarya.
Yes for above. First.
Kalima.
Yes for above.
Torr.
No for above.
Darryl.
No for above.
Oh. Because I'm split between no.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to go below?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
We could have just said above or below. That would have been easier.
That's true. That would have been. All right.
So I guess we'll go from below, and we'll just try to be stealthy and hope for the best and follow the maps that Darryl has.
Yep.
Which the map that Darryl has is actually pieces of a map?
The pieces of
As well as Vral's. Even he told you he hasn't mapped out the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
but this is what he has. So what entrance are you doing? One that's closer to the Gold Petal Gardens or Vral's?
Gold Petal Gardens, I think we should start as close as possible. Give less time for
Yeah.
us to get caught.
Agree.
Okay.
By the way, Kalima looks very disappointed.
Yeah. Sorry, I would kind of lead over to be like, I'm sorry. I was on your side.
It's not a matter of sides, it's a matter of practicality.
Okay. Good talk.
Sorry, Bethany.
Oh, I know. Our characters were not destined to be
Man, I
best
feel
friends.
really mean.
So you guys begin to travel towards the Gold Petal Gardens district. The streets are even busier now. You're having a hard time traveling through the crowd as more people have been drinking, games in the streets. The sun is beginning to go down.
Is it like carnival, sort of drinking in the streets and excitement, or
Kinda.
okay, carnival?
Are there topless people?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
not
So
here.
not Mardi Gras.
So no beads are being thrown. Got it.
Gotcha.
Not in this district.
You guys are traveling through and takes you quite a bit of time just to traverse through the throngs of people that are covering the streets. Actually takes you well over an hour.
I can't just be like, move.
You can make an intimidation
Yeah,
check.
let her intimidate the crowd.
Oh, I can intimidate. So, stepping up to the front of the party and put on my most imposing official look.
Mm-hmm.
And
And you are still covered in blood.
I'm still covered in blood because I did not accept your thing. I'm doing intimidation.
Yes.
20.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Not a nat 20. It's a 20 total.
Similar to the last time, as you guys feel pressed kind of on all sides by people, Kalima, frustrated, calls out that you're on official business and starts giving everyone that look. People start to turn and look towards her, some a little drunk, but as they kind of stare, they're like, take a few steps back. And while it's not like a clear path through, you are finding it a bit easier. It does still take you over an hour, but it doesn't take you 2, which it would have.
Yay!
Yeah, I did something good.
Can I make sure, as we're going, to watch for anybody looking at us in sort of like a hostile or kind of like an alert way?
Yeah. Make a perception check.
Okay.
I'd like to move unobtrusively.
Make a stealth check.
I would like to move unobtrusively as well.
Social stealth.
As well.
So 25.
25. Okay. You're traveling through and you're kind of looking. It is really hard to see anything very specific in this throng of people. Did anyone else make a perception check, by the way?
No, because I'm stealthing instead.
I went with perception.
What was the check?
The total was an 18.
Okay. Torr, you don't notice anything specific. Just traveling through, you're following behind Kalima and just a lot of people around you. Syldan, you're traveling through and you do see a lot of drunken people around. For a moment, you look through and you see what looks to be a cloaked figure, human, kind of seem to be staring directly at you guys. And as soon as his gaze catches yours, he pulls his hood up and ducks into the crowd.
Do I
Stealth
recognize
checks
the human?
from... You do not.
I was going to shift my focus to my diminution.
I assume so.
So that's a total of 27. I'm sorry, 26. 26.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
26 on my
Oh,
stealth.
man.
Darryl,
Maybe that'll make up for my 9.
I'll loan you some
you
stealth.
are bumping into everyone, Darryl.
Ah!
You're like, no one
You're kinda
noticed
like,
me! Elbows out.
Even at a couple of points, as you're bumping into some people, you knock a drink out of someone's hand. Kind of turns to give you like an angry look, but sees Kalima and backs off.
Oh, yeah, I'd be giving dirty looks left and right, too, by the way.
Yeah.
What did Syldan do when he saw the guy that no one else saw?
Yeah, I would have tried to get your attention,
Fine.
but do I see her?
I'm not like
I mean,
invisible.
she's there. She's just moving very smoothly through
I
the
just
crowd.
don't want-
So
yeah.
if not for the fact that you know she's with you, you wouldn't have noticed her.
All right, yeah, I would let her know what I saw.
You go get him.
Okay, I'm running.
Make an acrobatics check if you're
Ooh,
running
I'm good
after
at
him.
that.
Oh, you are good.
Because you're trying to weave
So
into the
natural
crowd
20.
very quickly.
What?
And 27 total.
And Sarya would tell the group, so Syldan saw a robe figure giving him a weird look, so he's taken off. Maybe we should go check that out on our way.
Is that why he's leapfrogging over
Yes.
the other pedestrians?
Yes.
What's your total, Syldan?
27.
Okay. I just wanted this for flavor text. So you guys kind of watch, and it seems Syldan moves without touching anybody in this. He just slips and bobs and weaves, and he's gone in an instant.
Oh.
Go get him, buddy.
Okay.
Syldan, you rush up, and you can see the hood and cloak of the figure, and he's trying to move quickly through the crowd.
Not quickly enough.
No, nowhere near. He can't match your speed.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab him by the shoulder.
Make an athletics check.
Oh boy. I am
Putting
proficient in
Torr's
this.
chase scene to
So
shame.
22 is the total.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh,
Wow.
that beats my 9.
You're not.
I rolled an 18.
I rolled a 7. So you reach out and grab this guy and pull him. And you see he's human. Light brown, kind of dirty, little messy hair. And he turns to look at you. He speaks an incantation quickly. And mist covers his form for a moment. And your hand slips. And he's gone.
Oh, did I see where the mist goes?
Make another perception check.
I would be following, by the way.
Make an acrobatics check to slip through the crowd.
Oh boy, I am not as acrobatic.
Actually, roll with advantage because of your stealth.
Oh, okay. Oh, good thing. Good thing. I'll do my check after his if you like.
23?
23. You don't see mist, but you see someone taking off about 40 feet from you.
Going after him.
So I rolled a 1 and a 17 with advantage, so that's a total of 21.
You're taking off in the direction you saw Syldan go.
Yes, yeah, because I haven't seen the guy.
What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I would try and run after them as well at this point.
I would as well, but probably nowhere near as fast, and
Yeah,
Torr will probably also...
more just pushing people.
So Kalima, you don't need... If you're all running with Kalima, people will get out of your way.
Because Kalima's like a battering ram through a crowd.
I just try playing my mace against
People
my
seem to be
shield make a
avoiding
noise.
her.
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Syldan, your speed is
45.
your speed is crazy. So you start to rush through the crowd. Sarya, you can just see Syldan ahead of you, but he's quickly leaving your field of vision. I need you to make a perception check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. You can just see the slightest shift in bodies ahead of you as if someone's moving through that area. So you take off in that direction. Syldan, you are almost on him. What do you want to do?
Knock him to the ground.
Make an athletics check.
Yeah, you get him, buddy.
20?
So you rush up and you dive at him.
Please.
And for a moment, you feel your fingers begin to slip, but you catch and pull him to the ground with
Yeah.
you. That was a 19 I rolled.
Oh, good job, Syldan. Good roll. Good roll.
Good roll.
You tumble to the ground for a moment, and both of you get up. And as you do, you see he begins to recite some sort of incantation. He says, "Leave me be, or everyone here dies."
Oh, I'm going to hit him over the head.
Oh, gosh. Do I see this? Do I hear this?
You start to rush through and make another perception check.
14.
You do not.
I shouldn't have said hit him over the head.
I need you to just roll straight dexterity right now.
Me?
Yeah.
That's a fireball being
Basically,
dropped
you're
on
trying
itself.
to hit him before he releases the spell.
It's like an initiative roll.
I wanted to mulligan my hit, but I can't. Oh, okay. Okay. It's an 18 plus 4, 22.
All right, let's see if you stop this. Make an attack roll.
Oh, God.
I rolled a 21 on his dex.
Oh, my God.
You're beating me by 1 point.
And this is with unarmed, right?
You didn't draw your sword, so.
Yeah, I know.
Punch him in the face!
Punch him in the throat!
Punch him in the throat.
24.
This is how a monk counterspells.
Yes. With his fists.
24 to hit.
24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Give him all you got.
Max damage. 10.
10 damage. Okay. It's your full round, so you can do action, bonus action.
That's 20.
All right, hits.
Okay. Oh, wait, I have to roll 2 dice.
Remain calm, Adam. Remain calm. Do not have a heart attack and die.
Don't
I think
hyperventilate.
he's having a stroke, guys. We may need to send help.
I'll text Melissa. Okay, if Adam's on the floor, I'm very sorry.
5, 6, 4. That's 15. Wait,
15
no,
damage?
5 plus 6, 11. Yeah, 15 damage.
Okay.
Okay, flurry of blows.
So you smack him twice. You see he's still holding on to the incantation.
Oh, wait, no, actually.
Stunning strike?
Yeah, that one.
That's a key
Can
point.
I do that on the
Yeah.
first one? I can't mulligan, can I?
On the second one, you can do it.
Because then I can't flurry of blows him. But yeah, stunning strike.
No, you can do it.
Okay.
Should have 5 key points.
You add a stunning strike to
Yeah.
the attack.
Okay.
Remain
Yeah, I'll
calm.
do stunning strike. I will spend a key point to flurry of blows. That way I have 2 chances to stun him.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because then it gives me 2 more attacks, basically. Okay. Sorry. 16 plus 7. 23.
Hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
5 plus 4, 9. And then stunning strike. Key point.
He is not stunned.
Okay. Again. 1 more
Yep.
hit. 14 plus 7. 21.
21 hits.
Okay. 6 damage. And stunning
Okay.
strike. You're good.
Okay.
All my key points.
Sarya, what's your... Roll a dexterity check for me.
Just dexterity check.
Because you might be able to come in and influence this, by the way, before.
23.
Oh, you will.
Yay!
Okay. He is not stunned, though.
No!
Sarya, you're running up, and you see Syldan throw 4 punches at this cloaked figure. So many people are in front of you, you can't get a clear vision, but there is a moment you see a small mote of flame appearing in his hand.
Oh no! Alright, he's going down. Do I get to go yet, or is Syldan still punching?
Because Syldan had a 22, you essentially spent your first turn getting close enough that now you can use the rest of your movement to get up.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the rest of my movement. Run up. I can draw my swords, right?
Yep. People, like, take a step back as soon as you draw your blades.
Okay. So I am going to go ahead and, as a bonus action, use my lethal strike.
Okay.
Can I get advantage from flanking this guy since Syldan's punching him in the face?
I'm going to say no,
Okay.
because Syldan was chasing
That's
him,
fair.
and you would be behind Syldan.
That's okay. But I can get up to him so I can stab him. I mean...
You can just get up to him. You haven't seen any clear image of this guy. You just see a hooded figure about to release what looks very much like Darryl's fireball.
So yeah, I'm going to try to take him out. I'm going to spend 5 points to do the extra psychic damage when I hit. So I'm going all the way on my lethal strike for my bonus action.
Go for
it.
it.
And I am going to attack. And really hope I hit. 19 plus 7 is 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I gotta roll.
Roll your damage.
Roll 5d10.
Jeez.
2d6 plus 5.
You guys are making me nervous
Are
here.
we not supposed to kill this guy?
You were the ones who...
I mean, you don't know yet, but...
Say, I'm not close enough to be able to see this, so I cannot even go, hey!
Hi.
Sorry.
Well, hopefully this doesn't
Nope,
go
that's
horribly.
Unfortunately, this has to be very dangerous amounts of damage, but that's 38 points of damage.
38?
Does he have 39?
Keeping us in suspense here.
He's mathing. Give him a second.
Tony?
Sorry, I'm mathing.
Tony?
I'm mathing. Shh.
Is everyone dead?
Yes!
Tony, good friend.
Yes, Tony, my husband who I love so dearly.
Okay. You slash across his form, releasing a pulse of psychic energy, and his head shoots back, and the spell dissipates. As he had exactly that many.
Oh my
Oh.
Before we finish this,
Oh,
Uh-huh.
man.
Oh gosh, there's a crowd of people watching. We just beat up a guy and stabbed him to death.
Yep.
Shoot.
Sarya, as his hood falls back,
Uh-oh.
you see Noah.
Shoot!
Are you serious? Oh. Syldan, make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, no! I don't have it.
Clang, clang, clang. Official business coming through.
Oh no.
This is so bad. I rolled a 1.
No!
No! Okay, wait. That's not the end of things.
No, it's the end!
Have the rest of us caught
Hold
up?
on. Nope.
No.
Alright.
I'm right here. Everything's gonna be...
It's a 1.
First, you take 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Gosh.
I'm not okay
But
with
wait,
this.
there's more.
What's your intelligence score?
It's an 11.
Oh my gosh, you're not dead. I rolled 10.
Wait, his intelligence is reduced to 1? Is that what you're saying?
No. I had to roll. I had to make or beat.
Yeah.
Nothing happens otherwise. It's make or beat.
Oh my gosh.
So, what do I see happening as the person standing right there?
Immediately, Syldan, like, his head shoots back, and similar to a psychic attack that you would do to somebody, blood for a moment pools under his eyes. And a now somewhat familiar sight, as a small brain appears atop Noah's head
Oh, no.
and begins to run through the
To
crowd.
run! Oh, it is not running through the crowd.
It is a tiny creature.
We will find it, and we will kill it.
Have I recovered from the damage yet?
You both can attempt an opportunity attack as it's trying to run.
Yes, please. I would like
Can
to.
I sword it in the face, or does it have to be fist?
The fist.
Oh.
I am going to sword it.
Because opportunity
I'm
attack.
assuming
I know.
this is with my offhand?
It's a reaction, so it could be either sword.
Okay. Oh, then I'll go with the sturdier one.
Now you give me a 20!
It's a total of 21 for me, Tony.
Okay, both hit as it's trying to run between people's feet.
Cut its little legs off.
Yeah.
Cut its little legs off!
14 points of damage for me.
14?
Yeah.
Then I have to roll my 2 dice. 14 as well.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So, Sarya, you take a swing, slash into its leg. It begins to stumble and head forward as Syldan thrusts his foot out and just slams it against the ground.
Oh.
That's
and it
horrifying.
remains motionless and a little splattered.
Burn it with fire!
Clang, clang, clang. Official business coming through.
As you guys, Kalima, you've been noticing people are kind of like moving a little bit out of your way. You notice a lot of people ahead of you just suddenly
Bolting.
bolt.
I would definitely pick up the speed.
The crowd just parts at that point in front of you as everyone's kind of like,
Scattering.
few less people are getting out of your way and like bumping into you, but you just truck through and you come across the scene as a robed figure on the ground with Sarya and Syldan standing over another intellect devourer.
Official business. Kalima, you can tell.
Clang, clang, clang.
Official
business.
Can you tell people this is official business?
Yes, I would immediately drop into martial mode and just be like, back up, we're handling it.
Darryl, as soon as you rush up, you see Noah unconscious on the ground.
Do I see, like, the wounds on him?
Yes. One in particular, a slash wound that is also covered in ice.
I'm so sorry, Darryl.
I'm gonna point to the mind flayer that I'm currently stepping on.
You mean
Intellect devourer.
Intellect devour,
that'd be
sorry.
hilarious if it was a mind flare.
Well, Darryl, he's gonna be kind of, like, stop dead in his tracks and just have, like, a slow moment of realization, and then just, like, an expression of terror will come across his face, and then a death glare.
At me?
At both of you. Because he doesn't know.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna be like, excuse me, do you not see this?
As Torr comes up, he reaches up. He has to reach, but he reaches up and tries to just put a calming hand on his shoulder.
Darryl, it was another intellect devourer. He was already.
He would have killed everybody here.
No. How's that even possible?
This!
Master Noah, he was a powerful wizard. How could he have been affected?
The whispered ones are powerful too. I'm sorry.
Darryl will he'll walk over and inspect Noah's body and check and make sure that there's actually the expected wounds.
Can we bring him back? Is he dead? Out of character?
You haven't tried, but he has no brain.
He'll have a great life without a brain.
Well, he could run for a political office.
Topical.
Well aware of what it looks like, Darryl, you turn his head and see very fresh scar marks in his ear. It might have only been a day at most.
Oh, alright. So it's not like my entire life is a lie sort of deal.
That would never have happened to anyone.
Oh.
Certainly not.
No.
Never.
What's the crowd doing right now?
Yeah.
As we're having this.
At this point, a lot of people have kind of like spread out, but you guys are in the low hills at this point. So you're in one of the poorest sections of the city, so you see a few people kind of eyeing you, but it seems, other than now at this point giving you a wide berth, most people are staring.
Yeah.
But not doing anything particular.
So-
It seems like they're just trying to get past you.
Syldan will kind of just like sit down on the ground, take out a sword, just kind of lean on it, and just be like, why does this keep happening to me?
Yes, Syldan. It's all about you.
In terms
You're
of
one
me
to
getting
talk,
wrecked
no.
by the intellect devourers.
Sounds like it being fast. So Sarya is gonna, I guess, try to scoop up the intellect devourer. I don't want to like leave it sitting in the street, and I don't know what we're gonna do with Noah. She'd kind of look to Kalima and be like, "What do we do?"
Well, Kalima's doing crowd control.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
kind of, anybody who's looking, she's like doing the 2 fingers at her eyes and 2 like,
Yeah.
move along. I'm watching you. Like, official business.
Yeah,
So if you get her attention,
yeah.
I'll turn
like,
around
Kalima,
and
what do we do with him?
could I do a medicine check?
Yeah.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah. Pat.
You,
He's
you inspect the body and
It's the same.
there's no heartbeat.
Well, what do we do with the body?
We're going to the temple.
Yeah.
We can at least have the body prepared and return to the tower or wherever. And I'll look to Darryl, wherever perhaps you would know the body should be returned to.
We should let Thovid know.
Yeah, I was just thinking that this is something we need to let him know immediately.
Well, we also need to get out of the streets.
Yeah.
We've drawn quite attention.
Yeah.
You do notice by this point some people are lingering a little bit more and just staring.
I mean, it is a weird sight, for sure.
I snarl at them.
Do we want to use that spell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the scroll.
Okay.
Okay.
Torr, would you assist me in wrapping and carrying the body?
Of course.
Sarya, I'm sorry to go over to Syldan and be like, you're gonna be okay.
Yes,
It's okay.
This is just a lot that keeps happening.
It's been quite a day.
That it has.
Well, no, we're gonna get answers. We're gonna get answers, right? I mean, right. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so Syldan will kind of stand up. I'll walk over to Darryl and I'll go, are you okay if I put him on my back and carry him?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I think,
I'll pick him up.
I think Kalima and
Torr and Kalima wrap the body. Syldan, you kind of pick him up and carry him on your shoulders. We proceed to the temple?
Yeah.
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 And again, Kalima gets up very official business looking at anybody who is lingering too long and is just like, please continue to the festivities, enjoy the rest of your evening, this is being taken care of, move along.
People are kind of clearing out.
Yeah.
Torr will perceive just in case of anyone else, suspicious.
Go ahead.
18.
Looking around, you see some people like lingering glances at the scene, but nothing that seems to catch your eye.
Okay.
And then I'll go ahead and use the scroll to send a message to Syldan.
Okay.
yeah, that we're gonna meet him at the temple because we wouldn't want to take him to the academy anyways because that'd be pretty traumatic for all the students when we march in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say Noah's dead, taken by an intellect devourer within the last day, taking his body to the temple.
Okay. You send the message, and after a moment, that is disturbing news. Could mean the academy's compromised. I will investigate that.
How many times does that make today?
Man.
3. And they've all been in the same day, too.
Yeah. Oh.
Yep.
All right. So,
Continuing on.
I guess we'll go to the temple.
It's a lot quicker this time, as people are giving you a wide berth.
Wonder why.
It's not like I'm carrying a body.
You are carrying a body.
Yeah.
It's wrapped, but you're still carrying what is clearly a body.
Really adds credence to the official business thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you begin to travel through, it is late by this point. The sun is going down.
It's like dusk.
It's dusk. You approach the temple and doors are open. You step in and you see the main altar with the rays of the sun cresting over what seemed to be a horizon. A few people are knelt in prayer, but Kalima, you remember that Shamar had taken you into the back room, which is where all the other bodies were. You don't see him immediately in the entranceway.
Okay. I would just very, very quietly, just to my group, we should take him to the back rooms. That's where the rituals are typically performed. And proceed to kind of like go to the side, like not down like the main middle of the temple, like kind of, stay on the outskirts edges of the inside of the building so that we're not like drawing more attention than necessary to the fact that we're carrying a dead body in.
So you travel along the sides, kind of keeping a little bit to the shadows of the temple, which is difficult considering the temple is actually very well lit with torches and drift globes, considering a deity of light. Mm-hmm. But passing across, you go through a door towards the back of the room behind the altar and proceed into a fairly small back room. You see several tables. You do see a few bodies that you had kind of blessed yesterday, Kalima. It seems like they're being, still being prepared for actual burial. There are several tables open. I need perception checks from Sarya and Torr.
Okay.
So while we were walking through there, I would have wanted to instruct Ebreth to smell the area, see if there's any more intellect devourers.
Roll perception with advantage. All right, so first perception checks. Sarya.
15.
Torr.
On the die, it's 20, so that total is 30.
This is going to be interesting then. Actually, Darryl, roll a perception check for me as well.
Don't say that.
Adam is so done.
Been a hard day. He almost had his brain eaten.
Twice.
Total of 21 for myself.
Okay. And then for Ebreth?
It's going to be a total of 20. So 17 on the die.
So walking into the room, Syldan, I'm assuming you're going to place the body next to like one of the other ones on a similar table. Kalima, I'm assuming you're there with him. Mm-hmm. Like all of you kind of gathered in the general area. As you guys are looking, first, Sarya, you start to look at the other bodies in the room. They are uncovered, but one catches your and Darryl's eye in particular.
Oh no!
You see Elethra.
Our janitor.
Hey! She was more than that.
About to say, Darryl, you started as a janitor.
I did. That's why I sympathize greatly.
Torr, you kind of look and remembering the description of an Olma Stayanoga, you see a woman there who looks exactly like she was described to you. And as you kind of look through, you notice against the far back wall an outline of what might be a small door?
What?
Rolled a 30.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That was the best I could have rolled. All right.
I know. You rolled a 30.
I believe in the player's handbook that qualifies as nearly impossible.
Nearly impossible.
Yeah, that's why you saw this door and just saw it from where you were and not had to investigate the whole room or anything like that.
It's like, oh, hey, there's a door.
I would go over to Elethra and sort of, I guess sort of see if it looks like an intellect devour has come out of her head.
I would like to do the same.
You see the scars.
Well, she was just getting back on her feet, And she got her brain eaten.
We've also found the one that I was initially looking for. I walk by the bodies and head toward the wall where this hidden door appears to be.
Syldan's gonna take a look around then. Are any of them his little ones?
So you don't have to roll perception. You look through and none of them are your little ones.
Mostly because Tony still wants to be friends with you as Adam. And
So did Ebreth smell anything?
Oh, yes. So you see Ebreth kind of sniffs the air and sniffs each of the bodies. And he pauses on each one and then starts to proceed like basically exactly where Torr is headed, towards the back of the room where all you see is thick wall. But he kind of proceeds and turns, not in them anymore, but was. And he keeps smelling and starts proceeding towards that back wall. What were you going to do, Sarya?
She'd be trying to figure out, like, what to do as, like, a gesture. And, is putting coins on people's eyes a thing in this world? Because I feel like that's what she would do. But,
yes.
Okay. So she would fish around in her bag and get a couple of copper.
Go ahead and make a religion check for me, though, just so. It's still a thing, but.
I'm not very religious. But I rolled well. 23.
Okay. It's a common belief, especially among lower class individuals. Mm-hmm. There is still the belief that they need to cross the mythical river Styx.
Oh, river Styx.
It's essentially the river that allows you to go into the afterlife. Kalima, you would know this naturally from Kelenvor, as the river can guide you in several different directions, and he is the decider as to where to go. But usually there's still the idea of the ferryman.
Okay, I'll
so the coin on the eyes is...
Yeah, I'll put the coins on her eyes.
Kalima, you see this and you realize that Sarya is doing a very kind gesture.
I would just kind of nod to her if she's, happens to look over. Meanwhile, I'm also kind of, laying out Noah's body, very politely.
Mm-hmm. And then, as you're doing that, I would go and put 2 gold coins over his eyes.
2 gold coins?
I want him to have a good trip.
First class, caviar.
May I check the door for any kind of traps?
Investigation.
Okay. 21.
So really quickly, Syldan, what are you doing? Because Torr's investigating the door.
I'll go with Torr.
Okay, you start to head towards Torr. Basic investigation, you kind of search and there's a door here. But there don't seem to be any traps.
There is definitely a door here.
It looks like Ebreth is indicating that intellect devourers may have gone through there as well.
Maybe this is what was marked on the map?
Really quick, and he flicks his silver for Olma.
So you want one of us to put the silver on the eyes?
She's actually pretty close to you, so you can do it as you pass by.
Oh, okay.
If he doesn't want to, that's okay too.
Yeah, he'll do it, but it's only one eye.
He flicks it in the air.
Because you only have one silver.
Is that a discount?
He only has, that's all the money he has to his name.
Oh, I thought the person had only one eye.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Sarya would come up with another coin.
Yeah.
You guys look at all the people and you can see that they're definitely all from like Low Hills and Onkalub Heights districts.
Yeah.
They're all people who were down on their luck.
We still don't see Sharim?
Shamar?
Shamar. There we go. I knew there was an S.
I was like, who are we?
No, Shamar is nowhere to be found.
That's weird.
Yeah.
When you met him, he was at the palace, but...
Yeah, but... And I don't see any other kind of priests or other acolyte type people. You guys wait here a minute. I'm gonna just go take a look around and see if there's anybody currently working.
Would you like one of us to come with you in case something happens?
Do you want Ebrith to go with you in case he senses more intellect devourers?
Sure. I mean, the temple's not very big, so...
We're all very nervous.
I could tell.
Yeah.
And I guess Torr will go back to the door, I suppose, and just put my ear up to it.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Kalima, make a perception check as well.
Okay.
Tony, question to the DM.
Yes.
About my perceive the unseen ability for aura sight, did we determine that I can see through things?
To a certain degree, yeah.
Okay. 5 psi points. It's a lot of points.
Yep.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to save my points.
Okay.
I was thinking about it. Sarya is very quiet right now. You would notice she's just sort of shuffling around.
Okay. So, Kalima, perception check.
13.
And Torr.
26.
Okay. Kalima first. Going around, I mean, you see some people that seem to be kind of just taking care of the overall place. They don't look like priests, but they look like they're just making sure everything's in its proper place. Maybe some acolytes.
Okay, but nobody looks in charge.
Nobody particularly in charge. It seems like you get the impression right now it's just a general time of people coming in for prayer. But especially since there's a temple to Lathander, who is of the dawn, not a lot of people would be focusing on worshiping at this time of day.
Mm-hmm.
This is mostly people who are praying for the next day, for the dawn to come again, essentially.
Okay. And I'm also being very, like, respectful and not, like, trying to disturb anybody who's, like, praying, just kind of quietly walking around.
Okay. Torr, kind of putting your ear to the door, you listen very carefully, and you think you just barely can hear the sound of water?
Hey guys, look, we came from above. Just saying.
I was wondering if you were going to say anything about that.
She would never.
That leads under. I hear water.
That makes sense. So, I guess we'll wait for Kalima to get back, and then we'll just find out what's back there.
Kalima, do you do anything else, or do you just head back to the group?
If I don't see anybody who looks more in charge, then I would just head back to the room.
Okay.
I would like to then leave a note of sorts with Noah's body, with instructions to have it returned to, I guess, to the academy or to the wizard's tower?
Okay.
Probably to the academy, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the academy would be the place.
You know, just, and then, like, leave my signature so that Shamar would recognize it and, like, leave it just on the table with the body, basically.
Okay.
So,
What are you guys doing?
What are we doing?
Through the door.
Sarya,
Yes.
I believe you should lead us here since you're currently immune.
Yeah, right. Good point. And I guess we're going to try to be unobtrusive.
Be careful. I don't think this place would have been marked especially on the map if it wasn't for a reason.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. So we'll try to just sneak in and see what we find out and just deal with it, because that's kind of all we can do right now, right?
Sure.
Any better plans?
That about sums it up.
No?
Okay. I would like
Then
to...
I open the door for you.
Thank you, Torr.
Okay. So, Torr, you push, and it sinks in a little easier than you thought it would, considering it looks like stone. And it just pushes and swings open. And as it opens, you see a staircase that seems to spiral downward.
Okay. I would like to move stealthily.
Go ahead.
Stealth rolls.
Anybody making stealth checks, go for it now.
Yep.
Well, that gives mine hope.
No good stealth.
No,
All right.
No, I was good.
oh, yeah, mine's pretty good.
So,
Mine's
Sarya,
25.
Syldan,
17. Or not 7, sorry, 21.
Torr,
Sorry, it was 17 on the die.
25.
Darryl,
6.
Kalima.
8.
Okay.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
As you kind of begin to proceed down the steps, you go and follow it downward. You particularly hear like a couple of little scrapes from Kalima's shield, and Darryl kind of trip a little bit on his robes as you guys are going down. But for the most part, you're fairly quiet. Proceeding downward, you eventually come down to a small tunnel that branches in 3 directions, 1 straight ahead before it curves slightly, and 2 that branch off to the left and right. Straight ahead, both Darryl and Sarya, you believe you've seen that path before in the vision.
The vision.
When you touched the papers with the psionic imprint.
Yeah. So we saw this path.
Well, you saw what you believe to be this path at some point, the path that leads straight ahead.
So it's like a feeling of almost like deja vu for us.
Yeah.
Is this related to the solid structure with water passing through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys do proceed for several minutes, by the way, as you go down.
Yeah.
It takes you guys a little bit of time.
I
to
would
get all the
whisper
way
back
down.
like, it's like a feeling of deja vu. I saw this with those weird papers gave us visions.
Well, so did I.
So it means something. So I
It
guess
means we're probably on the right track.
we'll keep moving forward.
Should just be on guard and have Aberth be sniffing the air.
All right. You guys proceed straight ahead?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys begin to proceed ahead and follow the slight curve of the tunnel. And after a few minutes of walking down this tunnel, you begin to get a smell,
Like
Oh.
dead
What type of
dragonborn.
smell?
a decaying scent,
Oh.
very strong.
Oh.
Oh.
As you guys continue to proceed forward, you round a corner, and what you see initially is 3 figures. 2 of them dressed in cloaks, 1 in full robes. One of the ones in cloaks wearing what appears to be a chain shirt, and the third is also wearing just simple studded armor. And they seem to be discussing amongst themselves around what appears to be like a well of some sort. And that's kind of where you can hear the water as you see 2 small channels proceed off to the left and right from where you're facing of water that seems to be heading in those directions.
These figures have their backs turned to us.
Currently, yes.
Can we hear what they're saying?
Make a perception check.
Perception.
Perception.
Ooh, natural 1 for me.
Perception.
So Sarya's very distraught, so she got a 4.
Syldan,
24.
Torr,
21.
Kalima,
10.
You beat me.
Darryl.
21.
Okay, you know who you are. You catch a little bit of the conversation. 2 of the voices in particular sound a little more breathy, a little airier. One you recognize.
You who?
The 3 of you that can hear the conversation.
Oh,
The
boy.
2 breathier voices you hear, Fulmar has not returned yet. Before the voice you recognize as Melika says, perhaps we should proceed to plan B.
Okay, I'll kind of gesture to Kalima. That one of them is Melika. They're talking about proceeding to plan B since Fulmar has not returned.
She just nods like, I hear you.
I think we should kill them.
Yeah.
More
I
nods.
agree.
Seems like the best plan. But do we want to keep one of them alive?
Yes.
Preferably, I think we need more information.
If you want, I can lob a fireball in there.
How will that keep them alive?
So just as a double check, who rolled above a 20?
I did.
Daryl did.
I did.
Okay.
Rachel and I were not great.
You do catch at one point, Syldan, you recognize the names, like, well, what do we do with a Tron then?
We're leaving one of these alive. They know about my little ones.
And another one says, we could turn him and the other.
They have my little
Then
ones.
Melika begins to say, fine, And he pauses for a moment.
Fireball, no.
As you see behind him, 4 figures begin to approach. You guys see a small Arakakra girl. A very dazed look in her eyes, looks unfocused completely. Right beside a half-orc, a young half-orc man. Also dazed look, like it's almost as if they're just confused. They're unfocused.
My babies!
Directly behind them, you see 2 thugs holding crossbows, kind of prodding them forward. As this happens, both thugs pause. Melika lifts his head at that moment, and you hear in your heads, "Who's there?"
I don't.
You do not.
And Adam keels over on the floor out of his chair.
All 3 start to look around.
The half-orc and the Arakakra are my little ones. We have to do something.
No fireball. No fireball, Darryl.
Fine.
Melika turns towards the tunnel. You guys are kind of huddled, trying to stay in the dark.
What are we doing?
Is someone there?
I can hit them with a magic missile.
We should pick out the ones with the crossbows.
Yes.
No, we should go after Melika.
I need everyone but Sarya to make wisdom saves for me.
Ow!
Good at those.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
That's not good, guys.
Okay, yeah.
So I do
All right,
okay.
Kalima.
With a nat 20, that would be 26.
Oh, snap.
Ooh.
No one is messing with her mind today.
Nope.
Nope.
Syldan.
22.
Darryl.
8.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh. No
And
fireballs?
Torr.
22.
Okay. Syldan, Kalima, and Torr. For a moment, you feel as if someone's pressing against your mind, but you resist it. Darryl, you don't notice anything.
Oh, gosh.
Everything's fine.
Darryl?
Do I just hear this in my head?
No, he's speaking out loud. Come out. Bring your friends. I know you're not alone.
So, that revelation, I'll walk out, and then I will cast magic missile at him.
As you kind of walk out into the room, you also notice in the corners 4 ghouls. Crossbow bolts trained. And as you kind of step closer, you realize in front of you, you see a blue dragonborn, skin twitching with what looks like electricity flowing visibly across it. Melika standing there, hood pulled over his head, and between the two, a ghoul-like figure with intelligent eyes stares you down as you see a Darakul. And as you cast magic missile, you just see Melika raise a hand and just cancels your spell.
As if he may have cast shield?
Or cast counterspell.
Or that.
Or that, yeah.
And goes, I said, tell your friends to come out too.
Not really feeling it.
He stares at you. I remember now. And he calls out, Kalima, I remember now. I was left there. Left on the battlefield. Believed dead, bleeding. Every last ounce of me wanted to go to my God. But I didn't. Someone found me. Someone saved me. There is an interesting process that my master subjected me to. Pain like you could never imagine. He returned these memories to me. He returned who I was, this Melika. But I am so much more now. I am now Zelix. I am more than a pitiful shell of a human. There's a process called seromorphosis. A slug injected into my brain changed me. And as he speaks, the voice shifts from out loud to in your heads at the same time. And just altered me, made me more than I was. He asked me to use you if I could, but to not allow you any closer. So, we'll do this my way then. And as he continues to speak, his human figure changes. 4 parts around his mouth sprout long tendrils. His teeth vanish back into sharp, jagged spikes. His body thins and elongates. His head grows long and bald. And he takes on a purplish hue as his fingers grow long and essentially looks like a squid atop a humanoid form.
Oh, no.
Now you deal with me. And that's what we'll pick up next time.
Thank you all so much for listening. Please share this podcast with your friends if you've enjoyed it. You can follow us on Twitter at rulesaswritten. If you have your own questions to the DM, you can email them at dm@dndraw.com. Please subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes, and also subscribe and leave us a comment on Podbean, Google Play, or Stitcher. Thanks, guys.